So lesson 8-3, we're going to talk about the mortgage application process. So we're going to compute the monthly cost of paying for a house, and you're also going to understand the research that is necessary before you purchase a home. So you can't just go in and say, I want this house. There are actually some pieces that you have to do behind the scenes before you can actually go and buy the house. Key terms: market value. This is the amount for which a house could be sold. Not necessarily what it's going to be sold for, but it's what they could sell it for. Property tax. These are taxes based on the assessed value of the property. So they come in and they look at how big the house is, how much property you have, all the extra features that are in the house, and that's how they determine how much property tax you're going to pay. Real estate tax. This is also the same thing as property tax. The assessed value. This is an assigned value made by a local government on the value of a house for taxation purposes. So the assessed value is not necessarily the market value. Sometimes it's usually lower. The market value is what it can be sold for. The assessed value is what the government thinks that it is worth based on what it has in it. The next one is a down payment. This is, we've talked about it with a car, same process here, same idea for a house. It's the upfront money applied to the purchase that is made using a loan. Mortgage is the name of a loan when you're buying a house. So it's a loan taken out by people to purchase a home. So instead of saying a loan, we say mortgage, and that means the same thing. Fixed rate mortgage. This is a mortgage in which a monthly payment and average percentage rate, or the APR, remain the same throughout the loan period. So they don't change. So the monthly payment and the percentage rate, they are the same from start to finish from all of your payments. The adjustable rate mortgage, also known as an ARM, that's how they abbreviate it. You will see that again. You will need to know this definition again. It's a mortgage in which the monthly payment and the APR may change as specified in the signed agreement. So based on what the market is doing and the economy, your percentage rate will change. So it's good because sometimes you can get locked into a much lower rate in interest rate, but at the same time, your interest rate could also skyrocket. So while a fixed rate mortgage might seem to have a higher interest rate than an adjustable rate mortgage, you have to look at over time, what could that adjustable rate mortgage end up being. And then to foreclose, this is the act by a bank of taking possession of a home when the homeowner cannot pay the mortgage any longer. So if you miss a payment, they're not going to foreclose on your house. It's actually a very long and tedious process for the bank, and they'd rather not. They'd rather work with you and come up with some form of payment option as opposed to starting the foreclosure process. Now, if they're going to foreclose on your house, it means that you had to have missed several payments in a row. We're talking like 6 months behind on your mortgage. If you're a month behind, they're going to hit you with fees, but they're not going to start the foreclosure process. Homeowners insurance. Just like you have automobile insurance, you have to have homeowners insurance. This is required by mortgage holders. It's a type of insurance that covers damage to the home due to fire and other natural disasters. It also covers theft and vandalism. So if your house is broken into or if it's vandalized, it's also covered. You will have a deductible usually with that, but they will cover some of it. Escrow. This is money that the bank collects from borrowers for insurance and property taxes. The bank pays those bills for the homeowner when they are due. So with property taxes and school taxes and homeowners insurance, those are usually very, very large sums of money that people have to come up with based on their property. So what the bank does is in your mortgage payment that you make each month, they will calculate what you have to pay for your taxes. And then when it comes time for that bill to be paid, they will pay it for you because you've been paying it monthly over time and putting that money away. So rather than you trying to put money away to come up with that for your taxes, the bank collects it when you make your mortgage payment, and then they'll pay that bill for you. Front end ratio. This is a factor that banks use when deciding whether or not to lend money for a mortgage. So front end ratio is the monthly housing expenses, the total monthly housing expenses divided by the monthly gross income. We also have a back end ratio, which is, again, a factor that banks use when deciding whether or not to lend money for a mortgage. This takes into account, though, a borrower's regular monthly debts. So car loans, alimony, child support, credit card bills, and that compares it to your gross monthly income. So it's your total monthly expenses, so what you have to pay in your other bills divided by your monthly gross income. This is probably the fairly regular one. The front end ratio, not so much, but again, the difference between them is the front end ratio is the monthly housing expenses. So your mortgage, your homeowner's insurance, and your property taxes. Whereas your back end ratio is all of your other debts that you have to pay as well. Debt to income ratio, it's also called your back end ratio. So those two are interchangeable. This is the more common one that you'll hear, debt to income ratio. It's the more common one that the banks use. With the front end ratio, anything lower than 28%, they will give you a loan for. With the back end ratio, anything lower than 36%, the bank will normally give you a mortgage. A balloon mortgage, this one is if you're able to save money and save money quickly, this is a good option. Otherwise, most people will not choose the balloon mortgage. This is a mortgage with a very large last payment, with all other payments being relatively low. And then we have an interest-only mortgage, which is similar to a balloon mortgage, where you take the interest and you pay off the interest in full every month, and then at the end, your very last payment, that is where you pay off the loan itself. So it's great if you can put money away quickly and you want low payments, but you have to also put that money away for the mortgage itself. So these are a little bit less likely for most people to use. They choose regularly a mortgage, just a straight mortgage. What do you need to know about mortgages? So has your family ever needed to file an insurance claim for household damages? So was there a fire? Was it broken into? Did they ever have to file an insurance claim? If so, what were the circumstances? So what was it? Why did they have to file an insurance claim? And then did having insurance save your family a lot of money? So go ahead and ask. I know some families might not want to share this. That's fine. Ask. I'd like to see some form of answer here. So finish this question, and we're going to turn this on a separate sheet of paper. Monthly payment formula. This is coming back to you. We did this originally in Chapter 4. It's coming back this chapter. So M equals P times R over 12 times 1 plus R over 12 raised to the 12 times T, all over 1 plus R divided by 12 raised to the 12 times T, and then all that quantity minus 1. Where M is your monthly payment, P is your principal, R is your interest rate, and T is time in years. This formula will come back in your test as well as throughout the rest of this chapter. So example 1. Heather is planning to buy a home. She has some money for a down payment already. She sees a home she would like and computes that she would need to borrow $190,000 from a bank over a 30-year period. The APR is 6.4%. What will her total interest for the 30 years be? So again, I'm not looking for monthly payment. I'm looking for total interest. So there's several parts to this. First thing we need to do is use our monthly payment formula. And we need to calculate the monthly payment. So I take this and I plug in the information. Remember that R is as a decimal, so I have to convert the 6.4% to a decimal. So I move it 2 decimal places, so I have 0.064. So when I substitute that in there, so you need to go ahead and take those values, the principal, the rate, and the time. So principal was $190,000, the rate was 0.064, and the time was 30 years. Okay, and substitute that in to calculate your monthly payment, please. The second thing you need to do is find the total paid over the period of the loan. So what does that mean? Well, we need to take our monthly payment, okay, so what we pay each month. How many payments are we making in a year? Well, there's 12 months in a year. And then how many years am I doing that for, which is 30 years. So we need to go ahead and calculate that as well. So your monthly payment should be somewhere around $1,188.46. The total over the course of the life of this loan should be 12 times 30 times $1,188.46. So you should have $427,845.60. Now, to figure out the interest, we have to take out what the loan was originally for, which was $190,000. So you subtract your answer from, subtract the answer in 2 by $190,000. So you need to go ahead and finish those 3 pieces. And if you look here, it's substituted in. Go ahead and finish step number 3 for me. So again, I did all the substitutions. Multiply the 12, the 30, and the 1188.46. And you'll get your answer in here. Take your answer in step 2 and subtract the $190,000. Check your understanding. We're going to go ahead and skip, so write that in your notes, please. Example 2. Jessica and Daryl Delaware are looking at a house, and they contacted the tax assessor to find out what the property taxes would be. In their town, the tax is based on the square footage and other features in the house. The classified ad describing their house is shown below. What is the annual property tax on their house if the town has a tax rate of 0.89%? Nice low rate, but again, it's going to be based on the house. So it's a 2-story colonial with 2.5 baths, a fireplace, a full basement, central air conditioning, 30 by 30 foot deck, 3/4 of an acre, 600 square feet on the first floor, 1,500 square feet on the second floor, 20 by 20 dormer, 12 by 21 foot garage, 16 by 32 foot vinyl pool, gas heat, excellent condition, and it's $289,000. So the annual property tax. So what we have to do on this problem is look at how they figure out what those pieces of the house are worth. So if you have a first floor over a basement, it's $3 per square foot. If it's a first floor over a slab, which is just a flat piece of concrete, it is $2.25. If you have a second floor, it's $2.25 per square foot. If you have a garage, it's $1 per square foot. A dormer is $1 per square foot. A barn, deck, shed, vinyl lined pool. The land is $1,000 per acre. The first bathroom, you get nothing. Extra full bathroom, you get $100. A half bath, $50. Fireplace, $125. So on and so forth. So I started a chart here for you. The first floor, it is 600 square feet. The assessed value is $3 for every square foot. So 600 times 3 is 1,800. The second floor has 1,500 square feet. So 15 times 225. The land is based on just flat values. So you need to go ahead and fill in these other boxes here based on what is in this rate here. The total of all the assessed values, so you're going to take all of these values here, the 1,800, the 3,375, the 400, the 1,000 times 0.75 here, all of these values in your total assessed value column, you're going to add them up and then multiply that by the tax rate. The tax rate was 0.89%. You need to convert that to a decimal, so you still need to move it 2 decimal places, even though it looks like a decimal right now. So you have 0.0089 is your rate there. So you need to go ahead and finish this box and then get the tax that they have to pay. Check your understanding. We're going to go ahead and skip this question. Example 3. Kevin and Kathy Mackin have a mortgage with National Trust Bank. The bank requires that the Mackins pay their homeowners insurance, property taxes, and mortgage in one monthly payment to the bank. Their monthly mortgage payment is $1,233.56. Their semi-annual property tax bill is $52.06. And their annual homeowners insurance bill is $1,080. How much is the monthly payment they make to National Trust? So with this, we first need to figure out, because they ask us monthly payment, so I need to convert these annual pieces or semi-annual pieces into monthly. So their annual homeowners insurance is $1,080. So when I take $1,080 and I divide it by 12, because it's 12 in a year, I have $90. When I take their semi-annual property tax bill, which is $52.06, semi-annual means twice a year. So I'm going to divide this by 6, and I get $867.67. And then we're going to take the monthly payment to National Trust is the sum of the monthly mortgage, the insurance, and the taxes. So this value, and the $1,233.56, we're going to go ahead and add those together, and that will be their monthly payment. So you need to go ahead and just do those 3 addition pieces, which I should see in the space on your slide. Check your understanding. We're going to go ahead and skip. So again, skip across this, please. Example 4. Tom and Lori Courtney are considering buying a house and are researching the potential costs. Their adjusted gross income is $135,511. The monthly mortgage payment for the house they want would be $1,233. The annual property taxes would be $9,400, and the homeowner's insurance premium would cost them $876 per year. Will the bank lend them $190,000 to purchase the house? So we're going to take a look at the front end ratio here for this. So we need the monthly housing expenses divided by the monthly gross income. So we know their monthly mortgage payment. I don't know their monthly property tax, and I don't know their monthly homeowner's insurance because those are annual values. So I need to convert those into monthly. So I need to divide both of those pieces by 12. So the monthly property taxes would be $9,400 divided by 12. Please get an answer for that. So pull out your phones or little calculator. 9,400 divided by 12. Get an answer. Find the monthly amount for insurance. So you're going to take the $876 and you divide that by 12. Get an answer. And then you're going to find the monthly gross income. So we're going to take their total gross income, which is $135,511, and divide that by 12. Will the bank lend them the $190,000? Well, we need to take the monthly housing expenses payment, the property taxes, and the insurance, add those together, those are your housing expenses, divide them by your monthly gross income, which is here. Multiply that by 100%. Get your answer. If that answer is less than 28%, they're pretty good candidates for the loan, so the bank will lend them the money for the mortgage. So go ahead and finish this problem, please. Check your understanding. We're going to go ahead and skip this question. Example 5. Bill and Terry are considering buying a house and need to figure out what they can afford and what a bank will lend them. Their adjusted gross income is $166,988. Their monthly mortgage payment for the house they want would be $1,544. Their annual property taxes would be $98.88, and the homeowner's insurance premium would cost them $1,007 per year. They have a $510 per month car loan, and their average monthly credit bill is $5,100. Would the bank lend them $210,000 to purchase their house? This one we're going to use the back end ratio because they gave us all of the monthly expenses that they have. So again, with back end ratio, anything less than 36% and they're a pretty good candidate, the bank will probably lend them the money. So let's take a look at these pieces. The back end ratio, again, totally monthly expenses divided by monthly gross income. So find the amount, the monthly amount of the property taxes. So $988.88 divided by 12. And then you're going to do the monthly amount for insurance. So $1,007 divided by 12. And then you're going to find the sum of the monthly expenses. So the mortgage payment, the property tax, the homeowner's insurance, the car payment, and the credit card payments. So we had $1,544 plus $824 for property taxes, $84 for homeowner's insurance, $510 for car payment, and then $5,100 for credit card payments. Add those values up and you should end up with about $8,062. Then you're going to do your monthly gross income. So you're going to take their $166,988 and divide that by 12. And then you're going to substitute that in. So the total of the monthly expenses, which you found here, divided by the monthly gross income, which is here, multiply that by 100. If they are less than 36%, the bank will probably give them the loan. They are good candidates. So go ahead and finish this and tell me if they will get the loan. Check your understanding. Find the back end ratio to the nearest percent for the Noakes in example 5 if they pay off their car and Terry gets a $12,000 raise. So they pay off their car. They no longer have that car payment. So you can deduct that from their monthly expenses, and you have to increase their adjusted gross income by $12,000 and then divide that as well. So $12,000 in a year, that works out to be $1,000 a month. So add $1,000 to their monthly income. So you need to finish this problem on your notes as well as on a separate sheet of paper to turn in, please. Example 6. This one deals with the interest-only balloon mortgage. Chris and Scott Halloran are opening a new restaurant. They take out a 6.1% 15-year, $300,000 mortgage on the building. But they do not have a lot of money because they are spending what they have to get the business started. Years in the future, they intend to have much more money from the success of the restaurant. Can they get a loan that will fit well with their current and future incomes? How much will they pay in interest for the loan? What are the monthly payments? So in this one, again, we're going to do a balloon, an interest-only balloon, because they don't have that money right now because they're investing it into the restaurant. So paying the interest only right now will work. Now, if the restaurant doesn't work, this is going to blow up big in their face. But right now, we're going to play the it's going to work game. So they're paying the interest only, and then when it comes time towards the end of the life of the loan, they should have that leftover money to pay that big lump, that sum that they're going to need to come up with. So we need the monthly mortgage payment, okay? So calculate the monthly payment. So again, $300,000 times the rate divided by 12 plus 1 plus the rate. That should be a 1 in there. Please change that to a 1. 12 times 15-year loan over 1 plus 0.061 divided by 12 raised to the 12 times 15 minus 1. And they end up with a monthly payment of $2,547.81. Now we need to find the total paid over the period of the loan. Okay, so 12 payments for 15 years at $2,547.81 per payment. Multiply all of those values and get your answer. Find the interest, subtract the answer in step 2 by the original amount here, which is $300,000. Okay, so we end up with the interest that they have is $158,606. Okay, so that goes here on 3. Now, the interest that they pay, again, is $158,606. So if the last payment is the $300,000 balloon, so that's what the actual mortgage was originally, the first 179 payments equal the interest only. Now, 15 years times 12 payments is 180 payments. The last payment has to be the whole mortgage. Okay? So we're going to divide the interest by 179 payments, which works out to be $886.07. So the first 179 payments are interest only. And then the 180th, or the very last payment at the end of the 15 years, is the balloon payment of $300,000. So you can see if you're able to save that money, this works well because your payments are really low. It's a lot easier to come up with almost $900 than it is to come up with almost $2,600. But you'll notice that the initial monthly payments are low, so this allows the Hallorans to put the money into their business. Okay? And the check your understanding, we're going to skip this question as well. So that is the end of 8-3.